Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of this video and then I'll go back and talk about things going on in the video to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think were done right and or wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello, I'm Captain Stacy Spell, Commanding Officer of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in Hollywood Division in the city of Los Angeles on July 15, 2021 at around 11:20 a.m. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We are still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. Officers assigned to Hollywood Division responded to a radio call of a man with a gun in the area of Cherokee Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard. Here's the 911 call and radio broadcast from this incident.
LAPD 911, operator 369.
Hi, there's a man with a red shirt and a black hoodie on Hollywood and Cherokee, what looks to be a pistol in his hand.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He looks white, yeah.
And
white.
I'm sorry, what street did you say he was on?
Right now he's on Cherokee and Hollywood, and he's walking towards the Chinese theater.
And he's carrying like what appears to be a pistol?
Mm-hmm, yep. And he's just like screaming and harassing people as he's walking.
He has it out in the open view, right? Not inside a sweater or anything like that.
No, yeah, he's holding it.
Okay.
Holding it, walking around, playing with it.
Let me
give
me one second. Let me get somebody going. Hollywood units, 450 man with a gun, Cherokee and Hollywood approaching Las Palmas. Male, white, black hooded sweater, red shirt, carrying a pistol, yelling and harassing passerbys. Code 3 incident 1932 or D636. Hollywood units and 6A63, addition on the 415 man with a gun. Suspect is a male, white, red shirt with a black sweater under, black pants, passing Las Palmas, approaching the Egyptian Theater. Hollywood units in 6A63, the suspect has passed McCaden in front of the Scientology, pointing the pistol towards the security guards. Additional incident 1932.
As officers arrived at the 6700 block of Hollywood Boulevard, they saw the suspect walking westbound with an object they believed to be a firearm in his right hand. They exited their vehicle and gave the suspect commands to drop his gun, but he refused to comply and continued to walk away. The suspect then turned to face the officers while still holding the object, extended his right arm in the direction of the officers, resulting in an officer-involved shooting. That suspect was later identified as Matthew James Sova. Sova was struck by gunfire and transported to a local hospital by the Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics, where he was pronounced deceased. Body-worn video cameras are used by most officers assigned to field duties. They are worn at chest level and capture a general perspective within line of sight from that angle. The angle of the camera prohibits viewers from seeing everything the officers saw and experienced. Upon activation, both audio and video will turn on. However, body-worn video cameras have a buffer of video without audio from the previous 2 minutes prior to activation. This feature is designed to capture incidents that occur suddenly, where an officer doesn't immediately activate the camera. Here's body-worn video from the officers involved in this incident.
Hey! Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Move! 6836 gun. Stop it! 6836. Officer needs help. Shots fired. Hollywood and Highland.
Yeah, that too.
This officer needs help. Hollywood and
Drop
Highland.
it! Drop it!
Officer needs help. Hollywood and Highland. Shots fired. Any air unit come in on Hollywood frequency?
Man, why? You got it.
6836. Shots fired. Officer needs help. Hollywood and suspect is right now.
Get me, hey, hold the shop up, give me my first aid kit.
Here's video captured on nearby surveillance cameras. The object that Sova pointed at the officers was later determined to be a metallic butane lighter with a pistol grip handle. A folding knife was also recovered at the scene. Matthew James Sova was a 48-year-old resident of Los Angeles. In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is complete, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. The board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. Additionally, representatives from the State of California Department of Justice Attorney General's Office and the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, who responded to the scene, will review the subsequent FID investigation, evidence collected, and witness statements to determine if the force used by the officer was reasonable. If you would like more information on how the LAPD investigates all officer-involved shootings and other serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can find the LAPD's use of force policy and procedures. Thank you for taking the time to review this critical incident community briefing.
Okay. Go back into the video. So not sure what's going on with this dude and why he's acting the way he is. Sometimes people are just batshit crazy. Here he is making his first interaction with a security guard.
Hollywood in 6863. The suspect has passed my.
Now, the security guard appears to be a
In front of the Scientology.
what I would call a uniformed cell phone. What I mean by that is he's an unarmed security guard.
In 6863. The suspect has passed McCaden in front of the Scientology.
No sign of a duty belt on.
Towards the suspect has passed McCaden in
Just
front of the
a shirt
Scientology.
with some patches.
Pointing in 6863. The suspect
Might
has passed
have a
McCaden in
radio.
front of the Scientology. Pointing
Yeah,
in
he's got radio.
6863.
He's
The
talking
suspect
into a
has
lapel
passed
mic.
McCaden in front of the Scientology.
So what do I mean by a uniformed cell phone? So lots of places will hire security who are unarmed and unequipped, meaning they don't carry any tools on them other than maybe a radio and a cell phone. And their job is to merely just observe and report. They see things and then they call the police. So when I say they're a uniformed cell phone, that's what I mean by that. Unfortunately, in so many places across the U.S., that's the way security is, and that's how security services are offered. They're offered in an unarmed and armed service, and because everyone makes decisions based off money, they go with the cheapest option, and the cheapest option is unarmed security. So I don't know what this guy's job is, what his particular function is, probably a business right in here that he's, guarding the front door at or something like that. I don't know. Not really sure. But he's obviously not equipped to defend himself. And this guy, the suspect, waving a knife at him and pointing this pistol-looking object at him. And the security guard has no way to defend himself whatsoever. All he can do is talk on the radio and get on his phone and call 911. It is my personal belief that if you're going to be hiring security for whatever it is you need, if you're going to have someone whose job it is to make contact with people and tell them that they're not allowed to do something, that they need to stop doing certain things because it goes against your company policies, etc., whatever, then you shouldn't be having that person work without any type of equipment, because that person, when they go tell someone they can't do something and that person that they've told that to becomes belligerent and irate and starts attacking, well, then that person has no means to defend himself. And if this security guard is supposed to be protecting a business and protecting the people in it, how can they protect them if they don't have any tools? Moving on from that little rant.
Pointing the pistol towards the security guards. Additional 1932.
As officers arrived at the scene to be a fire gun, officer-involved shooting. That suspect was to a local body-worn video camera perspective on. It doesn't.
Hey! Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Move! Hey, 6836 gun. Drop it! 6836. Officer needs help. Shots fired. Hollywood and Highland.
This officer needs help. Hollywood and
Drop
Highland.
it!
Shots
Drop
fired.
it!
Officer needs help. Hollywood and Highland. Shots fired. Any air unit come in on Hollywood frequency?
Now, I've noticed in some videos that they will put two pair of cuffs on someone.
Why? You got it.
I can understand doing that for a very obese person, but for a regular sized person, I just really do not see the point in putting two pairs of handcuffs on someone.
6836. Shots fired on City Top. Suspect is right now.
Get me, hey, hold the shop up, give me my first aid kit.
So you can see here in this slow down and zoomed in portion of the video, this object that he has in his hand, he's pointing it at them as if it is a gun, as if he's going to shoot them. So, as I said before, I don't know what this dude's intentions were. Sometimes there are just crazy ass people out there. And this could have been, his way of saying, you know what, I don't want to live anymore. I'm going to walk around pretending I'm pointing a gun at people in the hopes that the police show up and they can shoot me. So this could have very well been a suicide by police, or this could have been this dude's batshit crazy and he needed to be locked up somewhere, but he wasn't locked up somewhere and instead was walking the streets, which for it's hard to say the number, but for a lot of people, there are a lot of people walking our streets and they're batshit crazy and they do not need to be walking free.
Here's video capture.
Now I want you to pay attention to this glass right here on the wall. Just watch it and you'll see it change. All right. So there goes a bullet hole right there at the tip of the cursor right there. And I'll back it up. All right. So right in here where my cursor is circling, pay attention. So both of them are extremely close. It's from the video, there's no way of telling whose round went through the window. But one of their rounds went through the window. It looks like maybe just one round had missed. But it's difficult to say just from the video. I'm sure the investigation
The
from the
object is Sova
scene shown, how many times each officer fired and, who missed and whatnot. But I would suspect that it's, well, back this up a little bit more.
Officer needs help. 636. Stop it! Move! 636. Stop it! 636. Stop it! Move! 636. Stop it! 636. Stop it! 636. Stop it!
And you can't even really tell from this angle that the glass got shot. At least I can.
6836. Officer needs help. Shots fired. Stop it! 6836. 6836. Stop it! 6836. 6836. Stop it!
Now, I would, just making an assumption, I would assume that the person firing a one-handed grip was probably the person who missed, but can't be for sure. And this is where marksmanship is extremely important, because what is behind that glass?
6836.
Whatever it is that's now open, it's a McDonald's to my understanding.
Shots fired. Hollywood and Highland.
This officer needs help. Hollywood and
Drop
Highland.
it!
Shots
Drop
fired.
it!
Officer needs help. Hollywood and Highland. Shots fired.
At least I think that 153rd place is. Well, the McDonald's is right here for sure. What exactly this is, I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it's a business of some sort, and there's people in there. So, and this is a close distance. I mean, very close distance. And marksmanship is pretty important, especially in urban environments where behind this target there are more people behind him. Every bullet you send out has your name attached to it, and we have to be extremely vigilant in making sure that every round we fire out is accounted for, and we can account for those rounds with proper firearms training. Now, training budgets are not that large in a lot of agencies, and in some agencies across the U.S., with all the bullshit defunding that's going on, those budgets are a lot smaller than what they were. But even before the defunding bullshit, uh, lots of agencies out there, between all the other stuff they have to have a budget for within the agency, training is one that is not always the highest, or at least it's not as high as it should be. And police agencies have to compete with other agencies within the government. So, with a city, there's the road department, there's the fire department, there's the parks and recreation, whatever. There's all kinds of different entities within a city, municipality, and county, same thing, state, same thing. So it's not just the police department that is taking money out of the city's budget. So out of all those different entities, the police department gets this X amount of money for the overall budget, and then within the agency itself, so much of it has to be allocated towards fuel for vehicles, overtime, payroll, things like that, uniforms, the paying the radio people to come in and fix the radio equipment and buy new radios and vehicles and striping the vehicles and putting lights and siren on them, all that shit. And then there's the training budget, and within the training budget, so much of it can be allocated towards sending people to a police academy or paying for other things, and then the ammunition for training and everything. And once you start taking away dollars for all these other things, you're not left with a whole lot of dollars when it comes to firearms training. And so there's many agencies out there where the only time they do firearms training is once a year at best. They'll do their firearms qualification. It's their annual qualification, and they'll go out and they'll fire X amount of rounds at certain distances with one hand and two hands and kneeling and standing at these different distances. And then that's it. Then they'll wait a whole year and they'll do the qualification again. Some agencies will do this twice a year. Other agencies, because they might have a little bit more money, they'll do additional training throughout the year. They may even be able to say, hey, if you want to come and practice on your own time, by all means, you can go to the range, and here's some ammo that you can take with you. Those places are lucky that they can do that. There's a lot of places they just can't do that. In fact, there's a lot of agencies where the officers themselves have to bring their own fucking ammo. Like the department doesn't provide them any ammo to train with. They have to bring their own ammo. And then there's some they have to bring their own gun. So I get it. The budgets out there suck ass. And especially for some places now with all the defunding bullshit, the budgets suck even more. But this is one of those things where you can't skimp a whole lot. If the only real good firearms training that a person's going to get is going to be in the academy, then 10 years down the road away from that, all they've done is some qualifications once or twice a year and maybe some extra in-service training with firearms here and there, then that's an issue, because you need to stay on top of firearms training and but maintain your proficiency. These are perishable skills. I can tell a difference in my skills when I go a long time without shooting. This past year with the whole pandemic bullcrap, and not being able to find ammo very readily, and then just being busy, I could tell that had an effect on me and my accuracy. And that accuracy has come back, but it is a perishable skill. You lose your ability to make accurate hits when you do not get to shoot often. And unfortunately, like I said, the cost of things is a major contributing factor. But if all you do is the very, very, very bare minimum, and all you do is qualify once a year, then you're wrong. You need to do more than just qualify once a year. You need to get out there and train. And if not just training, then you need to get out there and practice some of your marksmanship and make it fun. Add some friendly competition with each other. Put some things on the line. So whoever loses has to buy a steak dinner, whatever, and get your skills up to par where they need to be. Because that one bullet that misses, that could be the end of your career and the end of your life.
6836, officer needs help, shots fired.
Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.